My parents initially acquired this property in the early 90s, and they did it as a partnership with the Atlanta Steeplechase. And it's really the identity of this property now. It's where the name Kingston Downs came from.
Stan and I met about a year before we got married, and when we met, Stan said, "I want to travel around the world." We decided after we got married to pack up and take our backpacks with us, and we traveled around the world backpacking in hostels and Airbnbs and saw a lot of different places.
So while we were on that trip, we were thinking about the different things that we could do when we got back, and we knew that this property was not really being used for much anymore. It was getting overgrown, but we knew how beautiful of a property that it was, and that it would be an incredible opportunity to be able to spend most of our time out here.
We wanted to do something that was more outside and in nature, kind of sharing what we had done on the trip for the year.
We knew that this was a special place as far as the natural beauty, and we wanted to preserve that. We wanted to share what this place is with other people. The anchor activity for this property, I felt, should be a nice hiking and mountain biking trail. So I had built about a mile of trail when I was introduced to the guys who run the Georgia Cycling Association. And they were happy with what we had done so far with that mile. So they offered to bring in a professional trail builder and finish the last 4.5 miles. And that first mile that I built, my dog, Scout, was with me every day, just running through the woods or laying right there in the woods next to me while I was on the excavator. And that's where the name Scout's Loop came from. The
trails are gorgeous. They go through like wooded areas. They go through some areas where there's just pine trees. There's open fields that you kind of go through. And Stan was super intentional about like making those trails and making them beautiful and kind of seeing different parts of the property. We decided to build 3 little cottages near the river. One is where we're sitting right now. We wanted the cottages to be able to host our family and friends when they were out here visiting, and also like guests that wanted to come and see the farm and see the woods and see the river. We wanted to make that place of home here on the farm, so people, when they're out walking or when they're out doing their activity during the day, they still have somewhere to come and retreat at the end of the day. We wanted to kind of have a place that people could go maybe more casually than the cottage, and kids could kind of like just explore and be wild. So we decided to work with Timberline Glamping, and we put 6 glamping tents. They're kind of safari style tents, and they have king size beds in them, some of them queens and bunks, and they have air conditioning and fans. We wanted guests, when they visited our cottages and our glamping, to feel like they could come and unplug and just relax. So we didn't put TVs or microwaves or even dishwashers.
We've got a great spot. It's one of the best views on the property, overlooking the rolling hills as you come in. It's less than a 1/4 mile walk from the river, where we have a nice little sandy beach with steps going down for guests to hang out. There's a little fishing hole down there. So it's really a great spot that people who want a little bit of a different feel from the cottages, who want to feel like they're having a slightly more rustic experience but still pretty pampered, can come and enjoy the property as well. So we have 7 miles of riverfront on the Etowah River, and it ranges from shallow shoals, where the Native American fishing weirs are, to deeper, slower pockets that go around the long bends in the river. When you're kayaking on this stretch of river, you really feel like you're somewhere special.
Being on the river is super special here because we're not in a place where there's a lot of other people on the river. So when guests come on the river, you might see one other fisherman on a boat, but usually we're the only people that are on the river.
My philosophy in growing the business has been to be heavily involved. I wanted to start small, grow it organically, and get my hands dirty and do everything from the ground up. You know, we've just tried to do things that we enjoy doing. That has thankfully translated into doing things that other people want to come out and enjoy. I would say in an effort to keep Kingston Downs pristine, it's really what are we not doing? Because this property is perfect as it is, untouched. So really we just try not to do too much. You know, I understand that we're just here kind of just taking care of it for the short time while we have the privilege of taking care of it. You know, it's not really ours. My hope is just to set it up in a way that the next custodians of this land want to do it in a similar way.